most people would understand that once you walk away from royal life and stop doing royal duties, you can't really expect the police protection afforded to a working royal. But why is the Home Office so against Prince Harry paying for it?
Well, that is an interesting one, actually. I mean, you do have to start with, is there a threat? And listen, he is still considered really by the world a top-tier royal, whether we like it or not. But also he fought in Afghanistan, so there'll be a lot of extreme Islamic terrorists maybe that would like to do him some harm. And of course, his mother was tragically died after losing her police protection. So I think all these three things to come together and you start looking at it and thinking, well, there is a threat. He does need some help. And whoever supplies it is the big issue, whether it's his own personal security that he pays for himself or the UK police.
So what's the difference between, I mean, he's willing to cough up the money, so that's fair enough, but what is the difference between getting proper police security, the Royal Protection Detail, or bringing his own people over with him?
Well, as we saw with his mother, the security, you have to rely on individual companies and people that maybe aren't as well trained as the police guys. And I think for his own peace of mind, he would like to have policing. And of course, police officers are able to do things that normal members of the public, which of course private security guards can't do. So I can understand his point completely, but also from the British taxpayers' side, should we be paying for his protection?
Well, that debate has sort of already happened, hasn't it? And he has, in the end, concluded that he would pay for it himself, but he's not even being allowed that. And the attitude seems to be from the Home Office that our police are not for hire. And you can sort of understand that too, but isn't he a special case, just as you've outlined? And wouldn't it be fair enough to just let him pay for it?
Yeah, I think I think he is a special case, actually, but there are concerns with numbers of officers that would be required. Actually, having close protection for someone like Prince Harry and his family, don't forget, is a huge undertaking, and you have to supply lots and lots of officers to do that. Now, of course, when he's in the UK, he'll probably be living in Frogmore, which is already a secured environment. But then every time they go out, there needs to be some kind of police officer or police team, actually, that goes with them. And that is a huge undertaking.
Well, it sort of is. But what I don't understand, Chris, is if he was a member of the royal family, that would be provided anyway. There wouldn't even be a second thought about that. So it's not as if he would be taking up resources that he wouldn't have taken up had he still been a working royal.
Yeah, and I think the key point here is that he left and is now no longer a top-tier royal. And of course, we've got many members of the royal family that are not protected, as well as the top tier that are. And I think this is the big issue here is, he's not in the top tier, although he probably should be. And that's the key point here.
Can I just ask about arms? Because I imagine the special security detail that is given to top-tier royals would be armed, wouldn't they? And maybe if he paid for a private security company, they wouldn't be allowed to be armed? Is that an issue?
That's exactly right. And, of course, police officers doing close protection are firearms officers and have guns with them and the availability of guns, but also the support of other police officers as well, so they can call on more support when required. A private company wouldn't be allowed to carry guns in the UK and wouldn't necessarily have the ability to call on further support. And of course, let's be quite honest here. There's 4 members of that family that would have to be protected, and this is, there is big implications for the police in having to have another family added to their patrols, their security detail.
So if you were advising on what steps should be taken, would you allow him to have that close protection, and pay, even if he has to pay for it himself, or would you be someone who would turn around and say, actually, no?
Well, you do have to look at the threat. And yes, listen, he was a soldier. He's the Queen's grandson. There is a big threat against him and his family. So yes, he does need protection. The police are the best people to do that, but there is an enormous cost. It's not just a few quid here and there. We're talking, we're talking 15 or 16 police officers would be detailed to that family consistently. And do we have the resources? Well, of course, the police do, but we're asking a lot of them as well. So I think my own view would be yes, whilst he's in the UK, it should be supplied by the UK authorities.